So we are live on Zoom, and welcome to our first attendees. Welcome to our webinar with umbrella topic of studying machine learning and logistics in Germany. My name is 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦, and I will be today the co-host/co-moderator of today's webinar. So thanks everyone for joining. And as you can see, I'm not alone today because we have guests from three programs from three German universities who will be talking about relevant programs that you could already see on agenda. But anyways, I will still introduce to you agenda. I will start with my short presentation regarding who is behind the webinar. So regarding MyGermanUniversity, also some general information about studying in Germany, and then we will I will give the floor to our distinguished guest. And one note to our attendees, so you can already send in your questions if you have already some in the Q&A session, which you can see in the bottom part of your Zoom interface. There's a button Q&A. So this section will be open throughout the webinar, but also keep in mind that towards the end of our webinar, maybe we'll reserve around 10 minutes for live Q&A session where you will be able to get your answers through our guests live. So, and also keep an eye on the chat. Despite the fact that you cannot use the chat, I will share some important links and maybe some contact information that will be important for you. All right, so let me now share with you my screen and make my short presentation. Just a second. Okay. So as I said, the topic is studying machine learning and logistics in Germany, and we have guests from three German universities. From Deggendorf Institute of Technology, we have Mr. Sharma, who will be talking about a master's program in artificial intelligence for smart sensors and actuators. Also, we have a guest from Hochschule Würzburg-Schweinfurt, Professor Dr. Jakob 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, who will be talking about bachelor's program in logistics. And also, if we will have no problem with our third guest. I hope she's on her way and she'll able to join. Also, we'll have guests from Hochschule Bremen, Ms. Dennerlein, who will be talking about MBA focused international logistics and supply chain management. So let me start with MyGermanUniversity. So who we are. MyGermanUniversity is Germany's largest database of English taught study programs. So when you go to our webpage, you will be able to find lots of English programs, English taught study programs, not only on bachelor level, but also master level. And recently also you can see from the small excerpt of our study finder that we added some short courses and language courses as well. So our main goal is, and our main mission, to put it shortly, really and simply, is to help international students like you on their way towards studying in Germany. So, and our study finder actually is one of the ways of doing that. As I said, this is the small excerpt of study finder you can see on the screen, but on the top left side, you can see the study finder. You can click on it and then you will see all its filters and all options and opportunities that you have. And I strongly suggest to use this study finder because you can find, for example, programs even tailored to your English test result. For example, you have 6.5 IELTS, you can find all the programs exclusively which are requiring 6.5 or less. So yeah, there are lots of filters. Another way of helping you is writing our articles. So now we have more than 75 comprehensive articles on various topics. It varies from scholarships to universities, also some rankings, etc., etc. So on the left-hand side, there's a navigator with the help of which you can find the specific articles on specific topics, and they're really comprehensive. They cover lots of details. So my suggestion would be also take into account and take time and go through those articles which are relevant to you at this stage. And last but not least, our webinars. We have approximately 150 webinars per year, also different formats of meetings with you, like Zoom meetings, and also Zoom webinars. The topics vary also. It can be generally studying in Germany, but also can be visa topic or subject webinars like the one that we are having today on different subjects. So you can find all the information about that at mygermanuniversity.com. When you go to the webinars section, you'll be able to see which are the webinars that are already planned, and you can sign up for them absolutely for free. And my suggestion would be also create an account at our MyGermanUniversity page. It's also totally for free, and then you'll be able to unlock all the options and opportunities that we are and our website has for you. And our team is quite international. We are based in Hamburg, but we are all over the world in different cities of Germany, but also in different countries, in Spain, in China, in Brazil, etc., etc. So, yeah, from my side, what I want you to know from my presentation is regarding first databases that you should know about. So if you are more into German taught study programs, that I would suggest you to check out Hochschulkompass, where you can find quite a lot of programs when it comes to logistics and machine learning, but mostly in German. And if you are more into English taught study programs, and I suppose most of our audience is, then MyGermanUniversity and our study finder should be your stop, because there we have around 80 degree programs for machine learning and logistics. And you can see that we also our own bachelor as well and on master as well. And majority of them, absolute majority of them, are English only, meaning that you don't need any knowledge of German language. For the newcomers who do not know what to expect when it comes to machine learning or logistics in Germany, so what are the rankings of universities that are offering these kind of programs, what are the ranges of tuition fees that you should expect, or application language requirements or admission requirements, I would also strongly suggest you to check out our subject pages, where you have this general information, and which would serve a great overview for those who do not know what to expect when it comes to studying these or other subjects in Germany. Yes, our suggestion, one of our pro tips is always, we hear very often that, I want to study in Munich, I want to study in Berlin, because these are great cities. Of course, we agree they are, but don't only be guided by this. Also, don't only be guided by the international rankings, because sometimes I would say even very often rankings do not capture all the detail that is important exactly to you. That's why dig deeper a bit, take your time in searching the right university, right program, because in Germany there are lots of cities, lots of towns with great universities which you would not like to miss out. And last but not least, from my side, so there are two types of universities that I would like you to know about. The first type of university is Universität type of university in Germany. So, you can also, when you go to our study finder, you can control for programs in logistics or machine learning, which are offered exactly by this type of university. And the second type of university is called University of Applied Sciences in English. In German, there can be different wordings, and you can see some of them on the screen. Not the easiest one for those who do not know German, but good to test your German and start with your German, because it's always good to know German in Germany. So yes, and also you can control for this as well in our study finder. So programs in these subjects offered exactly by this type of university. Now I'm talking to you about university and University of Applied Sciences, and of course the question arises, what is really the difference? Should you be worried about it? Because I'm almost sure in your country you don't have this division. But I would say that the key takeaway for now should be that the focus. So when it comes to Universität type of university, the focus is more on research and theory. But for the University of Applied Sciences, the focus is more on application and practice. There are some smaller also differences. If you're more interested into it, please drop me an email. Towards the end, I will share you with you our email, and then I will explain you, even if you would like to, historical differences between these two types of universities. And one final suggestion, also searching the right program is really one of the keys to success. Don't be really strict in terms of your wording. So when you are interested in particular subjects, don't be strict, don't be guided strictly by one given and set in stone wording. Play a bit with the words, just like with the filters, and then you'll be sure that you'll not miss any program that exactly fits your interests and your background. Okay, so we are done with my part, and we are moving now to the much more interesting part, I would say. So our first guest is Mr. Sharma, who will be talking, as I said, who is from Deggendorf Institute of Technology. So you can see it on the map, quite south of Germany, on the land of Bavaria. And he will be talking about master's program in artificial intelligence for smart sensors and actuators. I will stop sharing my screen right now and give the floor to Mr. Sharma.
Thank you for giving me this chance. I shall present my screen. Yeah. So talking about the DIT campuses, there are more than 10 campuses across the Bavarian district. The main Deggendorf Institute of Technology has been marked in blue color, whereas the campus 𝘗𝘢 is being marked with a heart in purple color. And in the next slide, you can see all the 13 campuses which are provided by the Deggendorf Institute of Technology across the Bavarian district. Talking about studying in 𝘗𝘢, studying in campus 𝘗𝘢 is an experience of its own. The campus has been equipped with the state-of-the-art technology, and this helps the campus to become the center of the digital startups for the aspiring founders. The study course is revised in every 6 months once the student review is being done, and the 𝘗𝘢 is not an expensive city to live in, with the moderate living expenses when compared to the other states, other places such as Regensburg, Munich, and Nuremberg, which are way more expensive as compared to 𝘗𝘢. €62 fees is the semester contribution which is to be made by every student, which makes a really affordable place to study in campus 𝘗𝘢. And the university is also being partnered with the regional industrial partners such as Mechatronic Compensate Networks Osban. So in DIT, the student involvement is being very much kept in the mind. So these are the two recently happened events that took place in DIT. One is the culinary trip around the world, where the students were told to bring some of their eatable things which are being made in their regional places and gave a taste to the other international students. And the other is the traditional day, where the students were requested to wear the traditional clothes on the particular day, so that everyone can get to know the culture of their own places, of the others' places and own places. Studying at THD gives you two options in the field of bachelor's and also in the master's. Going towards the bachelor's program, this will be a 7-semester program where the students can opt for bachelor's in mechatronics and digital production. And going towards the master's program, here the students are given the two choices in the form of mechatronics and also in the form of mechatronics and cyber physical system, known as CPS, and also in the form of artificial intelligence for smart sensors and actuators. Both of the master's degree program are in English, whereas the bachelor's degree program take place in German taught. So talking about the future scope of the program for the artificial intelligence for smart sensor and actuator, actually describes the subdisciplines of this computer science, along with solving the problem in the form of intelligent manners, with giving the control over the embedded part through the smart sensors and actuators. And the qualification for scientifically founded activities in that particular area helps determine the student to tackle the problems of data processing, data analyzing, and automation by the means of intelligent systems to keep the quality assurance and teaching intact. Whereas going towards the creative part of the department, the students learn a whole lot of stuff in the form of machine learning, data science, robotics, and system designs. So talking about the course actually helps the students to tackle the upcoming problems which the industry is actually facing. Since it is a technical course, the students are taught the neural network in the form of RNN or CNN, and also gave a solid grip over the embedded control for the smart sensor and actuator. The sensor technology in the form of MEWS or MEMMS are also being taught, along with the method of controlling the networks in the form of wired or also the wireless networks. The data processing is being taken by the help of big data and cloud computing, along with the studies of model-based system designs. So talking about the course name itself, here you can see we have actually divided the course into smart sensors and also the smart actuators. Talking about the smart sensor actually pre-processes a signal to a sensor which monitors the algorithm for safeguarding the function. And since it is a smart sensor, it can work independently. So the power supply in some case is being given externally or independently and the impulse is being monitored through an connected tech via the help of Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or also 5G. So talking about the smart actuator part, here the signal processing is being done and monitored by the mechanism and the method of communication, which makes the actuator part a lot more reliant and intelligent, which enhances the performance. Giving you a brief overview about the course. The course has been divided into 3 semesters, which occur in the time span of 18 months. The first semester compliances of 6 subjects and 2 case studies in the form of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, microsystems, and data acquisition and control, with the other 2 subjects of microcontroller architecture and model-based function designing, along with 2 case studies in the form of embedded control solution and also the case study of smart sensors and actuators. Going towards the second semester, here the students will be given a brief introduction about the big data, computer vision, along with the algorithm of autonomous systems and autonomous robotics, with 2 case studies in the form of intelligent systems and autonomous systems. And there is also a FWP technical elective course subject, which has to be opted by the student in the second semester. Going towards the third semester, the students have to study the system designs and also the system intercommunications. They also have to give the master seminar presentation, along have to perform the master thesis. Going towards the practical aspect, the course has been equipped with 4 out of 7 modules for the case studies, which gives the enhanced knowledge of the practical reliance which the industry requires to consolidate the social competence. And talking about the course of compulsory technical elective subjects, here you can see there is a range of subjects which are actually updated after every semester, so that the current topics are taken in charge, and the whole course is being provided by the Virtual University of Bavaria for the FWP. Well, the campus has been equipped with the state-of-the-art equipments for the laboratory in the form of additive manufacturing, robotics, and automation. Here, in the field of additive manufacturing, the university provides different type of 3D printers, which uses different type of methods to manufacture the goods in the form of laser stereolithography, material jetting process, rapid prototyping, to name a few. And talking about the robotics part, there are the collaborative robots along with the industrial robots to give the students a perfect hands-on experience about the autonomous systems and the system and the software system simulation, along with the virtual launch and digital factories. And talking about the automation part, which is last but not the least, gives the student the experience of the drive technology, decentralized drive technology, a 3D scanner, the measurement tools, and also the process development parts, along with the simulation and model-based engineering. So talking about the Innovation Lab is used as a co-working space for the startups, which enables the collaboration between the students and the startup scenes. The 2 supporting pillars in the innovative labs are the factors planning, the virtual commissioning, and also the area of production, including the collaborative robots and the additive manufacturing goods and the good dispensing area through the augmented reality or the virtual reality. The students can receive the valuable insights into the modern development and production processing units in the form of Industry 4.0 demonstrators. And the university also provides the whole bunch of free softwares where the students can get a practical hands-on experience. So talking about some of the projects which are being performed by the students, here is one of them in which the keyring is being designed in SolidWorks, and the main objective of this of this project was to use two different type of materials at the same time during the process of 3D manufacturing. As you can see, the white color and the brown color are both being stacked simultaneously. Talking about another project, the students develops and designs an automated guided vehicle system, also known as AGVS, which runs on the basic principle of LiDAR scanner. LiDAR scanner is also known as light detecting and ranging system that uses sonar technology, SONAR. The student project, this was also one of the student project which was being performed in their thesis. The main objective of this project was to give the direct control of the robot using a hand gesture in the field of pick and place workplace. And the robot used over here was a FANUC robot, and deep learning was used for the hand gesture recognition. So the sensor lab is been equipped with mainly four aspects, whereas 3 of them are hardware and the 4th one is the software. Talking about the hardware part, the sensors are equipped by the industrial Internet of Things, industrial Internet of Things, in the areas of angle sensor, speed sensor, temperature sensor, and pressure sensor, giving the whole experience to the student for what the industry really looks like. This university provides different microcontroller chips in the form of Arduino boards, such as Arduino Mega, Arduino Uno, Arduino R3, Jetson kits, and also the Raspberry Pi. And talking about the temperature devices, the university facilitates students to get their hands on over the temperature calibrators and temperature cycle chambers, which can go as low as -55 degrees centigrades to 200 degrees centigrades. Talking about the 4th part, which is the software part, the university provides the student ID to get some free hands-on industrial experience for the students to get the exposure of how the industrial software works, such as SolidWorks, CATIA, the Solid Solution, CATIA, MATLAB, and Microsoft 360, to name a few. So the places where the sensor technology is being actually used is are actually robotics, the portable devices which are highly reliant on the sensor technology for your ECG, blood heartbeat, and some other stuff. Here you can see that medical sector and the healthcare sector is also been highly relied on the sensor technology since the past 2 decades. The automobile industry take the sensor technology to a whole new level with their ADAS features, which we are going to talk in the later slides. And the smart city and production also are very much dependent on the sensors, and sensors play a major role while crafting and designing and flying the drones and the aircrafts. Talking about the sensors in a car, here you can see that the newly developed technology, also known as ADAS, autonomous driving for artificial intelligence systems, which uses these many type of sensors in the form of GPS, radar, infrared, speed, ultrasonic, and LiDAR scanner, that houses the ADAS feature of a car. Giving you a brief about the alumni, we are having a wide range of students working in the industry of automation, aeroscience, material processing, manufacturing industry, robotics, product development, and research development, to name a few. So if you want to actually get the admission in DIT, you need to have a bachelor's in the relevant course with a minimum 210 ECT, along with the language proficiency in English for a minimum B2 and the German proficiency of A2 as required by the university premises. And you also need to clear aptitude assignment that is based on the higher mathematics, including integration, differentiation, to name a few, along with the electrical engineering, informatics, physics, and control engineering. So application period for the same has been given over here. Since the summer semester is going to commence from the 15th of March, the application duration for the summer semester starts from 15th of November till 15th of January, and for the winter semester commencing at 1st of October, the students have to apply within a period of 15th April to 15th of July, and all the applications are being taken by the help of Primus portal, and the person whom they can contact is Miss Bettina Wittmann. Her number and her email address has also been shown over here. So if you have any of the queries regarding any of the courses of DIT, especially artificial intelligence for smart sensor and actuators, you can contact the student centrum, and also the two person to contact are also being shown over here by the name of Stephanie Leek and Susanne Bin. This is how I am going to rest my presentation. I hope you would like this thing. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Mr. Sharma. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. You touched upon many interesting and important points for the students. That's why we already have received some relevant questions, but we will address them towards the end of our webinar. So thanks a lot.
Definitely.
And now I would like to move forward to our next guest and next speaker. We are moving a bit to the north, but staying pretty much in the central south of Germany. So we are now in University of Applied Sciences of Würzburg-Schweinfurt, and as you can see, we have our guest, Professor Dr. Jakob Emanuel Beer, and he will be talking about now bachelor level program in logistics. So let me stop sharing the screen and invite Professor to take the floor.
All right, fantastic. So, Georgi and Nino, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be presenting our study program, International Bachelor in Logistics. To the participants, thanks for joining. It's great that you're here. I hope that I can give you some relevant information that will make you more interested in this study program in Schweinfurt. All right, so I assume that all of you are somewhat familiar with the term logistics, because I guess otherwise you might not be here today in this webinar. Now, I also assume that most of you will have a somewhat limited understanding of logistics, because that's what most people have. So just last week, I went to a wedding, and at this wedding, I talked to a gentleman I didn't know before and told him what I'm doing for a living. And so he said, well, logistics, that has to do with truck driving and forklift trucks and containers. And well, that's what most people think when they think about logistics. And that's true. But it's also so much more. And logistics is one of the broadest fields. Whenever something is moving, whether it's people or material or information, then if this is supposed to happen in a somewhat coordinated manner, then we're talking about logistics, right? Personally, my professional background is warehouse logistics, and in particular, warehouse automation. So this is what I did in the industry, and this is also what I'm teaching at this particular university in this particular study program. All right, so a few words about our university. So the abbreviation is FHWS, which originally stood for Fachhochschule Würzburg-Schweinfurt. Now, in most cases today, we talk about Hochschule für angewandte Wissenschaften Würzburg-Schweinfurt, which nobody who is not native German can ever pronounce. So for the purpose of this presentation, I will always say FHWS. Also, we might actually get renamed in a little while. So this is probably going to happen in the course of next year. We will be renamed to Technical University of Applied Sciences, Würzburg-Schweinfurt. So this school was founded in 1971, and as such is one of the oldest universities of applied sciences in Bavaria. And we are also one of the largest ones, with 2 locations, one being in Würzburg, which is a beautiful city in the north of Bavaria, and the other location being Schweinfurt, which is not quite such a beautiful city, but a very practical city for a number of reasons. Schweinfurt is a very industrial place. And what I mean by that is that there are a lot of big companies that many of you will know, like ZF. I apologize for the background noise. That's my 7-month-old daughter. So Schweinfurt hosts a lot of international companies like ZF, Bosch Rexroth, SKF, among others. And so there is plenty of opportunities for internships, for work. And the population is quite diverse and international, to put it mildly. So it is quite an interesting place, and it's also one of the most affordable places in Bavaria among the bigger cities. In Schweinfurt, we have 3 different locations, 3 different campuses, and we are located, so this study program, International Bachelor in Logistics, is located in the Faculty of Business and Engineering, and we are in a brand new building that opened in 2019. So it was basically not used for the last 2 years. We've just finished the first on-campus semester after COVID, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic to be back on campus. All right. Now, most importantly, I guess, we should talk about the contents of the study program. Now here you see an overview of all the subjects, of all the core subjects that are part of the curriculum. Now let me say this. This is currently changing. We are launching a completely revamped schedule as of the next winter term, but the contents mostly remain the same. The sequences change. Some subjects we drop, some new subjects we introduce. So all the orange colored subjects that you see here on the screen, those are like in dark orange, those are logistics modules or in some way related to logistics. So we're looking at things like operations management, transportation management, material flow systems, which is basically simulation studies, supply chain management, business processes in logistics. So something that we introduce in the next semester is system design for warehouse automation. That's what I will be doing, and also sustainability and sustainable logistics, which is also something that I will be doing together with an esteemed colleague of mine. And what we do in this study program, in the study subject that is called, I actually can't see the full name here because Zoom is blocking the window. Anyway, it's design, I guess the name is Design of Intralogistics Systems and Robotics. What we do there is we investigate how automated warehouses function. We investigate how we can design automated warehouses. I guess some of you have seen videos of Amazon or other logistics companies using robots in their facilities. This is the kind of stuff that we're doing. We design the systems that include the robots and make them work efficiently. Right, so I've included a link here that gives you an updated version of the contents of the study program. It doesn't look as pretty as on this slide, but at least you can find a table. And if you have any questions about the contents, please feel free to reach out to me or to any of my colleagues anytime. Now, there's a couple of things that are special about the study program. I mean, you can study logistics in many places, but we believe we are special. And some of the reasons why we are special I have included on this slide. So first of all, I think one of the most important things here to say is that in the core curriculum, we have 2 industry projects that every student has to go through. And these are projects where groups of students work with a local company and solve a practical problem. And this practical problem can be pretty much anything that is important for the local company. So examples include, for instance, complete warehouse redesign projects, simulation studies, data analysis, the development of technical gadgets in the laboratory, and many more things. And we do this for several reasons. We want to maximize the exposure of our students to professional requirements. We want them to work with companies, because one thing we notice is that many students are very shy when it comes to working with companies, and they should not, because they actually can do many more things than they think. So this is something we want to show them and teach them and demonstrate them. Another reason why we do this is that students are forced to engage in project management because they work in a group, they work on a complex project, a complex problem, and so they need to have a project manager, they need to plan out the projects, they need to define milestones, they need to stick to the time schedule. All of these things need to be done. So it is quite helpful if students get some training on this, because that's also what they will be doing in practice later. All right, so a second thing that is notable about the study program is it is very international. Now, on the slide that Georgi showed, it said that 20% of our students are international. In the logistics sphere at our faculty, I would think it's probably more 50 to 80% of our students. And in my courses that I teach, it's probably closer to 90%. So it's a very international crowd, which is fun. And it's also very important to get used to, because many of the jobs that you guys will be taking on later are going to be in an international environment. So getting used to that is something rather important. Also, something that we are doing in our study program is we have included a research seminar. Now, you might wonder why or how that fits in, especially at the University of Applied Sciences, where the focus is on application of knowledge, not so much on research. Well, we believe that it's very important to teach engineers, because this is an engineering program, to teach engineers rigorous thinking. And it's very important that you guys will be able to tell apart sales nonsense that you can see, on the internet, on LinkedIn, from actual facts and from actual technical aspects of whatever you're looking into. So we want to teach you a scientific working style, regardless whether or not you're going to work in a scientific environment, because the scientific working style is nothing else but a professional, no-nonsense working style, and we really emphasize that. Something else that we emphasize is the growing importance of warehouse automation and robotics, because warehouse automation is one of the most exciting areas of all areas in logistics. And in all of Europe and the United States, we face the problem that we actually have quite a labor shortage. And working in a warehouse is not a very popular thing. It's not fun. So not a lot of people opt for working in a warehouse as, for instance, order pickers. So what we should teach our engineers is, how can we replace people with robots? How can we make automation work for us, so people don't have to do these these jobs that are not fun and that are badly paid? Something else that deserves mentioning here is our laboratories. Now, we have about 10 different faculties in our school, but if I just look at our faculty and if I just look at our study program, then we have 3 laboratories that stand out. One is the SAP lab, and I guess most of you guys have heard of SAP. It's a very important piece of software, and actually students can get an SAP certification at our school, which is something that many students take advantage of, and actually many of our alumni, they end up in some kind of SAP related job, which is also typically well paid. We've got a full-blown logistics lab with conveyors and robots and identification technology, and a workshop where we can build stuff. For instance, AGVs, just like Sharma has shown you earlier on his slides. We're also building AGVs sometimes. And we've got a well-equipped simulation lab with state-of-the-art software. Now, the kind of software that is actually being used in the industry. We have the same software, and we have very qualified people who teach simulation studies to our students. Now, the last special thing about our study program is this. Now, I am talking about the International Bachelor in Logistics in particular here, but we have a German version of that as well. Now, whether you enroll in the German study program or in the international study program, if you take a certain number of courses in the other language, so if you're German, you take English courses, or if you are international and you take German courses, you actually qualify for what we call the twin certification. So you receive a diploma that states that part of your study program has been in German or in English, respectively, which can be a huge advantage if you want to work in Germany, because even though Germany is an international country, and even though we have a high number of international students, and in some industries, an international workforce, it is still not very common that internationals speak German very well. So if you can demonstrate that you actually do speak some German, that you have some German proficiency that has allowed you to pass these courses, that is a huge plus in your application for a job. So what do our alumni do? Now, many of them actually stay in the region because we have so many large companies in the region, but they pretty much work anywhere, mostly at some kind of technology company. So we have a lot of students who go into the automotive industry, BMW, Porsche, Volkswagen, and the suppliers like ZF, SKF, Leoni, Faurecia, Bosch Rexroth. So all of these companies, and Bosch, the core company Bosch, all of these companies, they have a leg in the automotive industry. We also have an increasing number of students who work in the warehouse automation industry, for instance, at SSI Schaefer, at AutoStore, or in 3PLs, third-party logistics providers, companies that do warehouse operations and transportation on behalf of other companies, such as DAXA, DB Schenker, Geist Group, and so on. HelloFresh is another famous example of a more recent company, a startup actually, where some of our alumni end up working, and very successfully so. All right, so this is what I wanted to share with you. I've attached a slide with a bunch of links that you can look up at your leisure after the webinar. If you have any questions about this presentation, about the study program, or about our university in general, you can contact me directly, or you can contact my esteemed colleague, Professor Schmidt, who is the head of the study program in Bachelor in Logistics at our university. All right, so thank you very much, and I hope this was interesting for you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor. Indeed, it was, and we received a couple of questions. So now what I would like to do is to also invite Mr. Sharma as well to turn on his cameras, and let's jump into the Q&A session, as we have enough time for that. And I was monitoring the Q&A section here, and also received quite a lot of, I would say, questions also via email. So let me jump into them, and let me start with you, Professor Beer, as you've just finished. There's a technical question regarding the application fee, if there is any application fee to apply to this program.
No, there's no application fee for this program. So there's no tuition. There is a very tiny fee per semester that you have to pay, which is mostly for use of public transportation, just as it is at every German university.
Okay.
Something below 100 euros per semester, I think.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for information. Okay. Then was question for Deggendorf, also the same style of question. The question is 62 euros that is mentioned on the website. Does it also include a semester ticket?
This is the semester contribution that the students need to pay. Actually, the student, the whole course is actually free, but there's the student contribution that includes the 62 euro fees. So for 6 months of studies, only 62 euros. That is, yeah.
Okay, great. And just one comment from my side also, because I saw that several students asked when to expect the application, the results for those who already applied to Deggendorf, for example. So, and I would just wanted to voice that because one of the representatives already posted this answer. Yeah. So it is by, you should expect your letter of acceptance or rejection by the end of August. So this is the answer, so that everyone is on the same page. All right, thank you. Now for question for Professor Beer. So will you assign the Studienkolleg to me, or am I free to apply without it? And the student adds that my high school diploma is not equivalent to German Abitur according to Anabin.
Can you repeat the question?
So, will I have to go through the Studienkolleg, or I can apply directly and start studies directly? And my high school diploma,
okay, so
not equivalent to German.
Right. So it's a good question. It's that this is a very individual case, so I can't answer that. I would say you can submit your high school diploma as part of the application process. I mean, it doesn't hurt and doesn't cost you anything to try. It could be that there is some kind of individual case-by-case assessment, but I'm not aware of that. So frankly, this is something I don't really know.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Thank you anyways for this answer. Then I see that there's a question for Deggendorf, and Mr. Sharma is already answering it, typing it in, but let me voice this question. So is it possible to enroll for diploma in German language course? Is it free before staying bachelor course?
So actually the course, it was a prerequisite required by the course that the student must be having a A2 in German proficiency, either certified by Goethe or any worldwide renowned institute. And the thing is, if the student can also study German till A2 or actually or volunteer in the higher proficiency during the course study program also. Yeah, but that will also be additional subject for the same during the course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now a question to Professor Beer. So is the schedule of fixed or it is flexible? So meaning that can students take less or more classes during semester?
Yes, they can. They can basically. Well, this is, you know, the curriculum that you've seen on the slide. Well, that's the ideal curriculum, but it will always happen that students, for instance, do not pass an exam, or they decide to opt out of an exam and want to take the exam later. Also, you're flexible with respect to, for instance, core electives. Subjects that you need to take at some point in your study, and you can choose which one you take. But it's pretty flexible when you take it. The important thing for us is that we design the study program in such a way that it's actually doable in terms of time and workload, which is why the subjects are in a specific sequence. And in rare cases, there's a requirement to have completed one subject before taking on another subject. But that's very rare. So basically, it is pretty flexible.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Mr. Sharma, now question to you.
Yeah.
With Deggendorf, will the topics for the aptitude assessment will be known in advance?
Sorry, I didn't get your question regarding the same.
Yeah, so the question is, you mentioned also aptitude tests.
Yeah.
Are the topics given in advance? Yeah. Okay.
So the thing is, the student must be having a basic overview regarding all the five subjects, such as the advanced mathematics, physics, electrical engineering, control, and informatics. Yeah, so they must be having the basic knowledge of all the four, and during the sorting of application, once you pass the first year of application selection, you will be given a sample paper to study and to prepare according to that, for which the main exam is going to occur.
Okay.
That will be the procedure. Yes.
Okay, and let me also ask you one follow-up question, because I saw it in the questions here. Is it okay if a person has electrical engineering background? Can he or she apply?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because the thing is, in the prerequisites for taking the aptitude exam, there is also electrical engineering were mentioned as the third subject. So they can also apply for the same.
Okay. Great. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Professor also Bear, for answering the question that you have just answered. And let me ask you now one question to voice it, the one that you already started typing in. So if my graduation is from the Faculty of Engineering from Egypt with average grade 62%, am I eligible to apply for logistics program? And is there a master with less number of semesters? Okay, interesting.
So I am not familiar with the grading system in Egypt. So maybe there's an expert on that in the audience, but
not me, but
I'm not. So I don't know. As long as you meet the requirements for any German university entrance, you're also eligible to apply for the logistics program. We don't have any higher limits than any other university, so there's no barrier that would keep you from trying. As for the master's program, we currently do not have a master's in logistics. We do have a master's program at the same faculty in business and engineering. And sometimes logistics graduates, they continue with a master's in business and engineering, which makes sense, but we currently don't have a master's.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Professor.
Sure.
I've just received a question. I think it's also for Ms. Professor Bea, because it is about, I'm from Nigeria, and I have a national diploma in electrical engineering. Can I apply? So as Mr. Sharma already said, if this question is for Deggendorf, yes, you can apply with electrical engineering. But I suppose it is because, I don't know, if you are doing the second bachelor, if you want to do the second bachelor, then I think that in logistics, it will, I don't know whether it will have any influence, Professor Bear, if the person already has bachelor.
It's a good question. What I can say is that we have quite a few students from Nigeria. So if you have the entrance qualification for Nigerian university, I guess that you will be able to enroll at a German university. That's my current assumption.
Okay, thank you.
I could also connect you to other students from Nigeria if that is of any help.
Oh, that's would be really nice, I think, for students. Thank you, Professor. There's one quick question I will address. So, are we going to do master's programs in logistics? Not today, but keep an eye on our webinar page, and then you'll see. We will definitely do it also later. Okay, so I think this question is again directed to Mr. Sharma. Okay, diploma course in German language for 1 year as foundation course before bachelor degree. Will it be free?
So, as I told that in our university, students can volunteer for higher German proficiency, but if they do not have a A2 proficiency, then they have to study till A2 as a subject, compulsory subject. But most of the students actually prefer doing their A2 in their regional in the place where they are living during their bachelor's, so that you are actually going to get a one less subject as compared to the having to give the exam of a compulsory subject like German.
Okay.
So it would be better if you do it during your bachelor's or your diploma till A2. And the certificate should be from 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥 or the other institute which has been mentioned, world renowned. But if you are not having, then you have to study till A2 as a compulsory subject.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much. Now question again regarding how many days the university takes to give decision about application. I think we addressed it regarding Deggendorf, but can we also address regarding Schweinfurt?
Should be the same because both are located in Bavaria, so it should be identical.
Okay, okay, fair enough. Thank you. And last but not least now, what I have on the list is, I think the question to Deggendorf, because it's about admission aptitude test. When we can start the admission process? Any link to prepare for the entrance test?
So once the basic application has been sorted and the number of students who have been selected or are eligible for the course, they have to first clear the exam. So if you are not having the relevant degree, or you are not actually passing the bar limit of 220 ECTs in your ECTs in your bachelor's, then you won't be able to actually proceed for the application. So first the student have to send their application. The university checks for all the requirements. If the student or the applicant is meeting all the requirements, then they are given a chance for in the next level in the form of a sample paper that they are given, and this is having all the questions which are expected in the main exam that they need to give. And the time duration is about 1.5 months to prepare for the exam.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for the comprehensive answer. Great. There's another one question, interesting one. I think it will be nice to voice it from both our guests. So do I need English proficiency before applying? If I'm from Nigeria, and in Nigeria, English is our main language and as a language of curriculum in school. So this is a question we often get. Some programs have different answers to that. So it will be nice to hear from you. Let's start with Mr. Sharma. Is it fine? Is it enough to have, do you still require from Nigerians the English proficiency test?
Yeah, actually, the proficiency test has been required by, if you are an international student and your mother tongue is not English, then you definitely have to show your English proficiencies. That is something which is mandatory, not only for DIT, but also for other institutes.
So by mother tongue, you mean if you are not from US, UK, Australia, New Zealand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And in some of the cases, student can also show their MOI, also known as medium of instruction.
Okay.
Like they can show that they studied their previous bachelor's or their master's in English only. Yeah.
Okay.
Fair
enough. Clear. Thank you. And Professor Bear, in your case?
It's a good question. I believe they typically waive the English language demonstration requirements if you come from a country where English is the native language, like India or Nigeria. But honestly, I don't know. But at least you will not have to take a course, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, my suggestion would be just to be on a safe side, go to the page of the course, and then you'll see if there's not clearly stated there's lots of contact information detail offered, and then it will be best to address these people, who know for sure these technical details. Okay, Professor Bear, I have one more question for you. Is it possible to transfer to this program while you already are in the bachelor program in another country, like for the second or third semester, let's say?
Well, you can transfer. It's not clear if the subjects that you're taking will be accepted as an equivalent, but you can, of course, start your study program anytime. Yeah.
Okay.
Just 1 second.
Thank you. And last question I think that we will take now is for Mr. Sharma. Oh, actually, you are already typing in the answer. So
actually, I was,
the CGPA of 6.78 in the bachelor's degree from India. Will be eligible?
You can actually send your application, and if you are having, since it is a technical university, if you're having a lot of technical background, then you might be able to get the first year of bar, and you can apply for the same. But it would be better, like if you just convert this score into German score using some online aid, and then you can get the actual idea. According to me, 6.8 would be reaching around 2.6 or 2.7. That would be like a student can still apply with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then I do not have any more questions to answer. All the generic questions that already have been addressed more or less. And if you are interested in more details, please, all the contact informations, relevant ones have been provided. Try to address, use these emails. Also, if you have any general questions regarding studying in Germany, you are more than welcome to also text us. Here is our email, info@mygermanuniversity.com, and we'll get back to it as soon as possible. And yeah, thanks for our attendees for joining, for their questions. Thanks, of course, to our guests for their wonderful comprehensive presentations and for answering all the questions. So I enjoyed the webinar a lot, and I hope to see you also in our future webinars. And for now, take care and have a good evening or good morning or good night, depending on where you are coming from and when you are right now. So that was all from my side. And yeah, take care.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.